have space in front, okay? Now, today is a very special day on many, many levels. Obviously, we celebrate with the baptism candidates. Now we can call them, you can call them anything except candidates. Okay, they're already baptized already go down, come up already. Okay? Now, this also coincides with Resurrection Sunday, which is why we made that proclamation at the very beginning. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Hallelujah. Okay. Churches generally like to time their baptism together with Resurrection Sunday. Today is really just chun when both events converge on one same day. Okay? Now, in a sense, the baptism, those who were baptized today, you played a very important role for the rest of us. You represented us. So in that sense, when you went into the water, it was as if all of us were in the water together with you. You represented us, you enacted for us. And I do hope for the rest of us that when we watch the baptism, those who were baptized today went down, we are also brought back to that moment of our first love with Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, so I want to ask, right now the two persons who were baptized are having in Sunday school, so there's only one person left here. I got to ask him. Now, I ask him and I ask the rest of you. Christ is risen, right? So what? So what if Christ was risen? What has that got to do with me? What has that got to do with us? So what if he has risen? Now, perhaps this is something we all need to remind ourselves. No man is an island. Yeah, you have your own space. Wonderful. I'm not about to invade that space. But no man is an island. And all of us need to remind ourselves that we are part of something greater. If not, we end up being in a silo all by ourselves. So there are two levels I want to deal with this question. So what if Christ is risen? One at an individual level, and the other one at macro, the global level, if you will. So I want to tackle the macro level first. So what if Christ is risen? Now the first thing you want to know, you need to understand is this. The world as you understand it is not normal. You think it is. It's because Satan has deceived all of us into thinking it is normal. It is not normal. The world as we understand it really is a perversion of what is supposed to be. This world, which is a perversion of what God intended, is a world where human wisdom have gone completely wild. The same wisdom that discovered nuclear energy also gave us the atomic bomb. The same human wisdom that discovered the power of explosives also gave us guns and bombs and bullets. The same human wisdom that invented the knife also invented a murder weapon. Wisdom itself is neutral. It's how we've used it. When human wisdom attempts to try to exist without being subject to God, what we have is the natural order of creation completely usurped. But this is why we're here today. Jesus is alive. Now, when Jesus is alive, he's here to restore everything to the original design. And when he comes back, you will see the full expression of that meaning. Okay? But restoring original design doesn't mean going back to the Stone Age. We're not going to give up technology. Okay? What does it mean when Jesus restores everything to the original design? Everything is put back into its proper place. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to Ephesians chapter 1. God worked in Christ when he raised Jesus from the dead and seated him at the right hand in the heavenly places, far above all rule and authority and power and dominion, and above every name that is named, not only in this age, but also in the age to come. Now pay attention to this. And he put all things under Christ's feet and gave him as head over all things to the church. The new order is when Christ is king. That was supposed to be the design. It is only new because people are so used to the perverted order. Now that's the good news. When Christ returns, he'll restore everything to the new order, so to speak. Now I still remember in 1991, shortly after the first Persian Gulf War, the US president then was George Bush Sr. And he proclaimed, now that this is over, he proclaimed a new world order. No. The real new world order is when Christ comes back. Okay? Now, what does this new order look like? Now, this was read for us from Isaiah 65. This new order, let Isaiah describe it for us. There will be no more sorrow from evil. People will live long as a consequence of their lives. Now, when my version, very interesting. It says those who are wicked will also live long. Now, don't panic first. Long life itself is not yet a blessing. A long life that is a result of righteousness, that's a blessing. Why? Because if you live a life that is evil, you suffer the consequences of your sin forever. I mean, for a long period of time. So the point of saying that people live long, what the Bible really means is this: justice will be immediate and decisive. Now, Christ will come back, but if you go read Revelation carefully, okay? Christ will come back in two phases. One event, but two phases. One, when he comes back, he restores everything on this earth. Okay? That is known as your millennial reign. He will reign for 1,000 years. Satan will be locked up for 1,000 years. After that 1,000 years, Satan will be released to deceive the world. Then there will be another great white throne of judgment. After that, eternity already. Okay, go read Revelation again. It's there. It's there the whole time. It's just that people didn't read. Okay? So, my suspicion is this is during the 1,000-year reign when Christ comes back. You will have direct reign of Jesus Christ. Now, elsewhere in the Bible, it also says the Son of God will rule with a scepter of iron. Now, meaning, now you commit a crime, it depends on whether you're caught. You may not be caught. If you're not caught, you get away with it. But when Christ is reigning, forget it. Okay? You commit a crime, you liao on the spot, you kena already. There will be no delayed action. Okay? So, people will live long as a consequences of their life. You live wickedly, you suffer lah. Now, we live wickedly, we seem to prosper, right? Oh, I'm bulletproof. No, not when Christ comes back. Now, during that time, people will build houses and live in them. Now, the contrast is this. During the time of the exile, you build a house, but someone else occupies it. You plant vineyards and you eat the fruit. Safety and security will be the norm. And you will enjoy the work of your hands. Now, this is very important to me. Because one of the things I hate is to do meaningless work. Couple of years ago, I was asked by my senior to record he was doing a radio interview. He asked me to do a recording for him. 2 hours before the recording, before the radio interview. 6 o'clock radio interview, 4 o'clock tell me to go and do. I've never done this before. Scramble to find out how to do it. Finally managed to do it right. Send to him right. Then he come and tell me, actually no need, they give me a recording. Why didn't you find out in the first place? Now that is an example of meaningless work. That is a rather hilarious example, but you have known more serious examples. You work so hard, you put in heart and soul. End up, your boss just tosses it aside. You know the feeling, right? But in the new order, you will enjoy the work of your hand. There are rare vocations in which you do enjoy your work. Mine is one of them. Not all the time, but most of the time. But the time will come where you will enjoy the work of your hands. You will no longer labor in vain. Everything you do will have a meaning, will have a purpose. Okay? Those serving in NS, you know, right? We are told, hey, do area cleaning. I just cleaned the floor 5 minutes ago. Then I do it again. So basically, I'm sweeping air. No? You will not do that anymore. You will no longer labor in vain. You will no longer be bearing children in difficult times. You will have true peace. And what is that true peace made of? That true peace is made of joy. People will be joyful. You will be happy because of the joy of the Lord. Not so much not so much in yourself, but you are happy because the Lord is happy. The joy of the Lord will be upon us. That's the real best thing that's going to come. Okay? In that moment, you will also have real communion. Now later, we will be having communion. This is important. But please understand, this is a representation of the real thing that's coming. This is not the real thing. Okay? What happens in real communion? God is no longer wrathful. He will no longer be angry with us on account of wickedness and disobedience. Which brings me to the second point. Why? Because human beings will no longer be attracted to sin. Sin will still be there, but maybe the temptation will still be there, but you're not interested already. Okay? So don't worry, God is not going to emotionally castrate you, no. But perhaps He's leading through us this very difficult time, to the point where even if temptation and sin appear right in front of us, we have mastered it already. Sin no longer attracts you. You reject empty pleasures. Now, you made a vow. Benjamin, together with the other two, made a vow just now. We reject all the carnal desires of the flesh. We renounce the devil and all his works, the empty show of the glory of the world. When Christ comes back, it will become second nature. Muscle memory. You don't even have to think. It's just your nature to do it. Okay? Now, that is a wonderful thing, because God and mankind will then live in love with each other and for each other. Today we worship God by faith. We can't see Him. We don't know what He is like. We don't know what He looks like. But when Christ comes back, we will see Him. Faith will become sight. Today we walk by faith. When He comes back, we walk by sight. We will see Him. He is delighted to reveal Himself to us. Don't think of God as some stingy person. Oh, you want, I purposely don't give. No. He wants to at the right time. Okay? Now, having dealt with the macro part, let's deal with the micro part, individual level. So what if Christ has risen? Now, the answers may be frightening to you. Okay? Because why? Jesus is not kidding about who He says He is. Now, he never suffered from false modesty. No lah, I'm not the Son of God. No lah, I'm not worthy. No, He never said it. He said He was. Okay? He is no longer just a Sunday school figure anymore. Now, you note, when Jesus showed His power, Mark chapter 4, when He calmed the storm, right? You know what happened? What was the disciples' reaction? Yay, we are on the right side. You wish. When He did that, when all the storm just disappeared, the disciples recorded, they were frightened. Because God is no longer a Sunday school figure you hear about, you see about. He's real. And He's right there. That's what frightened them. They were filled with great fear. He's no longer just a Sunday school figure. He's not somebody you can casually ignore when you feel like it and when you don't feel like it. Now, I preach on this Galatians 4. All right? You see, no matter what your achievements are, no matter what your position and your titles are, the moment you come before the glory of God, you just want to cast down your crowns. Cast, not put down, you take and throw away. That's how glorious He is. That's how majestic He is. And that's how much you want to throw away all your glories when in His presence. He's no longer somebody you can casually ignore. Why is this a good news? If this is frightening, why is this good news? Well, the good news is this. You see, today we celebrate His resurrection. But as you celebrate His resurrection, keep something else in mind. His resurrection also foreshadows our resurrection. We are also having a resurrection. We will also have one. This is why every funeral I take pains to remind people, you don't say goodbye, What do you say? See you again. Because you will see Him again. We will have our resurrection. The person who passed on goes first. So as a joke, I always tell, when I minister to people who are just about to pass on, I say, hey, when you go up, say something nice on my behalf, Ken. You're going to meet Christ first, what? But we will have our own resurrection. Now, when I say resurrection, there are two layers to understanding this. One, we will have our resurrection in the future. Second, we will have our resurrection right now. Now, this one, I'll talk about it in a little while. Let's talk about in the future first. Colossians 1:18. Christ is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. All of you know I have a daughter, right? I cannot call her my firstborn, no? She's my only child, no? If I have a second one, then I can call her firstborn. You want to be accurate about terms. I can only call her the firstborn if number 2 comes along. And no, I'm not giving you any hints or any prophecies. I'm just saying if number 2 comes, she will be firstborn. Right now, she's the only one. I can tell you're my favorite daughter. Excuse me, I'm your only daughter. I can't. She's not the first one. So if Christ is the firstborn from the dead, it means there will be others following. You and I are who's going to follow. We are going to have our resurrection. Okay? Now, I talked about the future, right? This is the future. Let's talk about now. When we have new life, does it mean that now we must, all of us must worship our charismatic, jump on the chair? I wouldn't recommend it. The chairs are light, which means it's very easy to break them if you jump on it, especially with my weight. Okay? Does it mean we all start engaging in charismatic worship? You must jump exuberantly during praise? No, not necessary. It's possible, but it's not normative. Okay? Now, the thing about this new life, okay, he's the only one here. The rest of the parents, please listen and tell your children, please be patient. You want to change and become a godly person tomorrow, wonderful, praise be to God, but it's not likely to happen. Okay? I've shared with you before, right? I gave my life, I surrendered. I was born in a Christian family, but I surrendered to Jesus when I was 17, 18. Altar call, go up, Lord. So the person asked me, so what do you want me to pray for? I didn't know what to answer him. I just said, well, I don't want to be a 6:30 Christian. So he prayed for me. Next day, nothing happened. Next week, nothing happened. Next year, nothing happened. But now, age 46, I look back on 17, 18. That's when it happened. Okay? God will make you grow, not immediately. Okay? Nobody grows immediately. I think it'll be quite freaky, Born, can you imagine? Elise is born, snap fingers, she can walk and drive already. Weird, right? Same thing with the spiritual life. Why do you assume that, today you give your life to Christ, tomorrow you can become pastor? Doesn't work that way, It takes a while. I see that many of us in CCK, your newcomer here, the national emblem of CCK is the durian. Okay? Every church camp must have durian. No durian, not church camp. Some of you don't like durian. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this church to like blue cheese, but not succeeding very much in that respect. The national emblem of CCK is the durian. Overruled. Okay, for the general. Not, of course, some of us don't like durian. I accept that. Poor thing. Okay, just kidding. Now, durian trees don't grow up immediately. They take a long, long time. They take years. Okay? You want to grow in the Lord. It's going to take years. There is no shortcut. There is no magic button. All right? In fact, while you're growing, you may well seem very, very, very unpromising. Okay, I took a picture of mustard, but mind you, that's not a picture of a mustard seed. That's a picture of a finger. The mustard seed is the one on top, on the finger itself. Hey, some of you have dug up boogers from your nose bigger than this, lah. What I'm trying to tell you is this. Your growth will be unpromising in the eyes of the world. Let's understand that, okay? That's because we're trying to judge each other by the standards of the world. No! When God wants you to grow, He will start very unpromising. In fact, He chooses the unpromising just so that He can show His power. Then you know it's not you, it's Him. Okay? Now, while growing, something else you need to know. It's not within your control. Whatever you're doing, it is not to engineering, it is to respond to God's initiative. Okay? Now, Jesus Himself makes this point. John chapter 3, verse 8. Now, I know you're hoping I quote from John 3:16. No, John 3:8. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. You see the effects. Be patient. It will happen. But work at it. All right? Now, what do you want? Sorry, when I say not in your control, this is the thing that ought to be said. This is your attitude. Your attitude, is description of your attitude. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Not in your control. You're not manufacturing your own faith as much as you are responding to God. You're responding to God and you're keeping in step with Him. Now, the example that jumps to mind is Exodus, when the pillar of cloud or the fire move, then the Israelites move. They adjust their direction according to where the cloud moves. Now, my dear friends, direction is not just literal. It's not just where you're going. Your tendency to react in a certain way to a certain situation, that may be a direction. And that may be the direction that God may want you to change. Maybe last time you very fast fly off the handle. Things don't go your way, only you lose your temper. Changing your direction means, no, I refuse to react in anger as a first resort. All right? Okay. So responding to Him, keeping in step with Him, that's the new life. All right? What do you want in your new life? What do you want your new life to look like? How are you working at it? We may not manufacture our own new life, but we can respond to God in it. Okay? Now, how is your relationship with Him growing? Now, don't worry, don't worry too much. Your life, all of us, you talk to any Christian long enough, you will hit moments of stagnation. Normal. Don't worry too much. Because God can bring it back to life. Today is Resurrection Sunday, remember? God can bring to life what you thought was dead. Right? But new life also means that there must be transformation. Without transformation, this is what will happen. Your new life can either be the Walking Dead. There's also reanimation. You could be this, or you could be this. Which one? Your new life, which one does it describe? Now, on the right-hand side, that's a new way of existing, is a new way of living. So, my dear friends, you will have a new body in the future. But you can have characteristics of the new body in the present. So, there will be something coming for you in the future, but you can also have something right now. Now, how do we know whether this person has new life? Like I said, change won't come immediately, but some indications will be there. First, who is in charge of your life now? Who calls the shots in your life? All right? And whatever it is, you are no longer obsessed with self-interest. Now, we are human beings, selfish nature. But a person who has new life in the Lord, no longer interested in your own interests. You're not self-centered. If anything at all, you are other-centered. You do things that honor God, even if it costs you. You don't care if it costs you. Even when no one else does it, even when no one else cares, you do it anyway because it is the right thing. You understand that thing to honor God. Queue up for buses, right? Let's say you queue up for public transport. It's very tempting in the crowd to jostle your way. Nobody would know what. You elbow somebody, right? You can point the blame. But if you want to honor God, you let others go first. You give way. Same thing for drivers. I'm saying this to myself. Okay? Now, you may not know and you may never know what God has in store for you. That's a scary bit. Now, to you, you want this kind of life, but God has something else. God's adventure is a roller coaster one. I don't enjoy roller coasters. I used to, but now that I've gone beyond, I realize that after age 30, I don't like roller coasters anymore. Okay, your go. You won't know what God has in store for you. It may be scary. All right? The Bible tells us, no eye has seen, no ear has heard. Right? You may not know what's going to come next, but you know He keeps promises. That's the thing. That's our confidence. And not only that, He's eager to fulfill them to you. Now in Luke chapter 12, verse 32, Jesus says, don't worry, little flock, He tells people. For it is the Father's pleasure to give the good things, the things of the kingdom to you. It is His pleasure. He's not stingy about it. Okay? So, you see, whatever we suffer in this life, whatever happens to us in this life, next slide please. Okay, whatever that's happening to you now, of course I assume negative, whatever is denied to you in this life, whatever you're giving up for the sake of the gospel, will have to be compared to what He has in store for you. Now you will notice the difference in weight. What God has in store for you is greater than everything that you have possibly given up in this life. So my question to you is this: wherever God is leading you next, I can promise you it's scary. And I can also promise you that there will be moments you feel like giving up. There will be moments you'll be wondering, what is the point of all this? Now, let me assure you right here now, and to all of you, normal. It happens. The real test is, what do you do after that? We will all have moments where, you feel... Now, there's this one Singlish word that encompasses everything, every other word in the dictionary. Sian. You will feel very sian. You'll be wondering, why am I even doing this? Now, in that moment of sianness, let me assure you, whatever God has in store for you is more than enough to overcome everything else. That is the hope that He has for you. That's the hope that He has for us this Resurrection Sunday. And I pray that the hope will be very much alive for you, Ben, Shalom, and Seth, in the years to come. So may God help us, and may the Lord bless you.